Posted by UGI_Joe's_adventure. Our story is called The Government Deployed Me to a Country That Doesn't Exist Part 3. Despite its terrible appearance, the creature seemed friendly. I just stood there staring at its hollowed-out abdomen like a deer caught in the headlights when it reached for my hand. I was reminded of the poor, skinny children in Afghanistan we used to give candy to on the streets. I had an idea. I slowly dropped my rifle and grabbed the creature's hand. I led it to my rucksack and shuffled around for an MRE. I opened the stiff plastic bag and searched for a bag of Skittles. "Here you go, buddy." I poured some colorful candies into its hand and it looked at me with gratitude. It chewed all the candy up and held its hand up for more. "Hang on, there, son." I stood up tall and held the colorful bag out of its reach. "Tell me what you are. What is this place?" The creature shook its head. "Does it understand me?" "Come on, buddy. Tell me what this place is. I have food for you." The creature reached out its hand to me and gave a come-hither motion with the other one. "Well, here we go." I held up a finger. "Hang on, buddy." I pulled out the blank map and quickly jotted the location of the wall and the section I found the creature. For the hell of it, I wrote on the bottom of the map Neverland. I packed the rest of the MRE in my ruck, secured the precious Skittles in my cargo pocket, and threw my heavy ruck on my shoulders. "Show me the way, pal." The creature set a quick pace for us through the forest. I tried to keep an eye on the GPS locations we were passing through, but the creature, or buddy, as I quickly named it, wanted to hold my hand instead. I smelled a faint tinge of smoke and spices in the air. The forest grew warmer. The trees opened up to a small village area. Whoa, there's more of them. The small village of creatures seemed to be some distance from the tall wall I had discovered. They had 7 or 8 round huts made of mud centered around a small town square. The creatures had piles of moss they seemed to be drying over small fires. They slowly all stopped their movements and looked at me. "Buddy," grasping my hand tightly, "lead me to the largest hut." It pushed through a brown fabric door before any of the other creatures could stop us. The sweet smell of herbs and spices permeated the circular hut. It took a second before my eye could adjust. There was a small fire in the center of the room, and the smoke escaped from the hole in the roof. There was a small cloaked figure near the fire, sitting in a meditative state. Buddy pulled me near the fire and motioned for me to sit. He still held my hand, looking at me with its large eyes. I glanced around the room, but there were just several bowls laying around. I was feeling drowsy. My journey through the night and shock of situation had worn me out. I felt the warmth of the hut wash over me pleasantly. "No, not yet." I shook my head. "Who are you? What do you need from me?" I spoke to the meditating figure. Nothing happened. Warmth continued to wash over me. I felt at peace. I also felt hungry. So hungry. The hunger started to gnaw at my abdomen. I couldn't die. Why? I just wanted release from the hunger. I felt anger. Why can't I die? The figure stood up. The flames of the fire grew. The figure shifted, reaching for a bowl of dried herbs. It threw a fistful in the fire. The smoke swirled into bizarre shapes. Some grotesquely fat, some impossibly tiny and thin. The bones stuck out at odd angles. I don't understand. Make the hunger go away. Buddy squeezed my hand. The meditating figure threw another fistful of herbs in the fire. The fire told a story. A peaceful village. The people were happy. Everyone shared and there was laughter in the green forest. Suddenly, fire, arrows and murder. People were chained. Evil spells were cast on the people and they could not die. They did not know how to fight. They did not know how to defend. Only sorrow to these small people. They could only feel hunger. God, the hunger. The wall. The impossibly tall wall. A city full of misshapen, fat creatures. They enslaved us. Enslaved us. What do you do when the people starve? What do you do when the people starve? What do you do when the people starve? The fever broke and I found myself laying on the ground of the darkened hut. Buddy was sitting over me putting Skittles in my mouth. The hunger dissipated into a dull ache in the pit of my stomach. I slowly sat up, chewing the Skittles. However, the memory of the bone-splitting hunger stayed. I will help you. I was woefully underprepared to deal with this. Magic spells? I only had a magazine of 5.56 for my rifle. I stood up, handing the rest of the bag of Skittles to Buddy. I faced the figure by the fire. Its eyes were open now. Can you help me? Give me magic? Something to fight them with. The creature smiled. It opened its cloak. In its hollowed-out abdomen, the creature had hung several bags from its ribs. It reached in and handed me one. I walked over, towering over the small creature. I took the bag and instinctively held it to my nose. It smelled like my ex-wife, Samantha. I was transported back to our wedding night, we were both so luxuriously exhausted. I held her close to me, our legs and arms intertwined. My face buried in her hair, breathing in her warm scent. Suddenly I was holding my firstborn. I couldn't stop smiling. Samantha reaches over, her eyes big and warm. I shook my head. I held the bag out in front of me. What is this? My heart felt full. Do it for them. So they never experience hunger. So they can have a good life. I looked at the creature with fresh motivation. We have a lot of work to do,